And we're going to start with the new business since there's several things to go over. And I'm going to start with Deanne, the premier.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
We're just kind of here for every so months we kind of check in and give you guys an update on how things are going. There's also a couple of topics we wanted to address, and then I don't want to forget, so I'm going to mention it on the front end. Just go ahead and pick your brain or get you thinking in the direction of 2015, 2016 to see if one, you want your marketing to continue to help you with your efforts, and then just for you to be thinking what you have liked about the current marketing plan, things that you might want to change about the marketing plan, any feedback that you have if we want to target new areas and whatnot, so that over the next few months we can start putting together a proposal for your July through June 2015-16 budget. So a couple of things that we just wanted to address before giving you some figures on the most recent productivity of your marketing would be upgrading with DNET from the basic hosting. Right now your website is on the basic hosting. This is around $8 something per month. To go up to the managed hosting, the cost is $20 a month. And this is something we're recommending you do, but we couldn't just do it without asking you to spend that $12 a month. But basically, this includes the ongoing monitoring, which helps prevent hackers. We had several problems on the website not long ago. 3 people in one day were trying to hack into your site, and so this includes the ongoing monitoring of this. DNET highly recommends it, but they're not recommending it just to make some more money. They monitor your site day in and day out. They will look for the hackers. They will fix it, and it helps. If they get in, they can completely lock us out of our website, and that wouldn't be good. So that's just something that I think the board needs to talk about and decide whether you want to up your budget and spend that. But it is a recommendation that we have. I'm a little antsy that it's not on there. I was kind of surprised to realize it wasn't done by the end. So if you need Premier to do anything, we're happy to, or if you just want to tell us, we'll get with DNET to upgrade that. Or if the contracts went through summer, then you might need to contact them. But this is just something we wanted to call to your attention. Additionally, if you want us to be posting blogs, we're happy to do that. We need some updated content, or if you need ideas, we'll brainstorm ideas. But it's been a little while since we've had new blog activity on there. And that is one thing that really does help our SEO, and just so that there's activity on the website. Okay, I hate a lot of words in PowerPoints, but sorry. So the visit shopping link was broken. That has been fixed. That was linking to a site that is no longer active. So what we have done in the meantime is linked it to the Franklin Chamber page, which has lots of shopping, well, to their shopping page. And we just wanted to, Summer and I talked that would be a good quick fix so that you didn't have a broken link on your page, but just wanted to ask you, is that okay? We didn't know with different organizations in town all having the same goals if we were okay linking to everyone else. So that's just something we wanted to call to your attention. So the business inclusion and or updates, we are doing our best to kind of keep up with that information as far as restaurants and whatnot. But we didn't know if you wanted to add something to the bottom of those pages that says, should you be interested, submit a request here, and then we'll give it up. I know we had a few requests come in a few weeks ago, and we posted those within 24 hours. So it's no problem. We don't ever want anyone to feel left out, or that we would purposely not put their business on there. And one of the things that we are making a larger effort on is to monthly be going through the site and combing it for any kind of updates that need to be happening. Quarterly going through it really, really detailed, but monthly at least going through and making sure that the calendar of events are updated and things of that nature. So we just wanted to give you an FYI and heads up on that. Something that we did need feedback on is, we've recently had some new restaurants in town open. If we post about that on Facebook, is the board okay with that? Or does that become an issue of, well, why aren't you talking about my restaurant? And did you talk about their restaurant more? Or, and I'm saying restaurant because we have had a new one, but it could be any business. If we decide to post about XYZ business and not about somebody else's, does it seem like the TDA or Premier or whoever is playing favorites? I know we've always felt comfortable to post when there's a literal event going on, because that is something drawing people to Franklin. But we just wanted to throw that out there, get your feedback. We've been hesitant to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an idea, maybe a general link like to the restaurant section, saying, hey, we've got new businesses for opening. You know,
That's a good
maybe
idea.
check that out.
But what about just a new business link? That way, like, and I know the chamber does that. I mean, they do the new open houses and stuff. Maybe like a new business. That way, everyone gets put on and doesn't single anyone out, because that will be an issue.
Yeah, because we don't. We were about to post about it, and then we went.
Yeah.
We go, whole can of worms.
But I think maybe the idea of having the form at the bottom of the page saying if you don't see your business here, that just kind of covers us, I think.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. That's for the website. Our concern was like in the Facebook post.
Right.
But
And
if
then
we do something generic.
Step 2 is, hey, new businesses are opening, new restaurants. It's kind of a blanket way to do it.
So we would all agree that we want to keep it either blanket or event specific. Does that sound fair? Any other thoughts?
Any thoughts on that?
And that leads me to the point about linking to the chamber's membership base. I mean, it's
Yeah.
no hesitation there.
I can see that. And, you know, every group in town seems to function a little bit differently. We didn't know if there was conflict there. Something that we can do, we're happy to add it. We just then get into, do we put the stamp shop on there? And not that I know that we have a stamp shop, but, you know, I mean, we can get down to every little business, and at what point is it, do we draw that gray area of what's tourism-based and what is every business? And then, so technically, our dollars, your dollars, come from within the city limits, so do we just do people within the city limits? Yet then a lot of our tourism, and why people come to Franklin, is outside of the city limits. It's very, it's like a riddle.
Yeah. We can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Agree too.
Yeah, and I mean, we are happy to do whatever you want. We were kind of brainstorming in the office one day, and we could argue it in every direction.
I'm sure we could too. So
have fun with that one. Just let us know what you did. On something a little more thought-provoking, just to let you know an update on how you're performing with your marketing right now. In your top 12 cities, we're seeing Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville. People from Franklin are visiting your website. Houston, Tampa, Durham, Miami, Salisbury, San Francisco, Asheville, and Concord. So the thing I'm excited about is Atlanta and Charlotte are the highest, so that shows that where our dollars are being funneled, people are responding to that. If you look at the referrals, we can just kind of take a glance at what websites are directing people to Franklin and whatnot. Summer, I'll provide you a copy of this. We won't
Thank
do every little thing, but people can have it at their fingertips. One thing that I continue to find interesting is the use of mobile devices is continuing to go up. In March, actually, we saw that 73% of the people visiting your site were on a mobile device. I will say your Pandora ads were mobile, so that was probably directing a lot of mobile traffic right there, which is another great way for us to measure performance on that. In February, it was only 32% that was mobile, which is still a large amount if you really think about that. Why it's very important to have your site mobile optimized, but it was nice to see that bump in March since we did put a lot of money into mobile marketing. This is just a quick graph of the month of March, and you can see where we had our white run for the billboards as well as the Pandora. That's where your spike is. And just to report to you on Pandora specifically, in Charlotte, there was 284,000 impressions. In Atlanta, there was 590,000 impressions. We have 3,500 clicks from Charlotte, 7,000 clicks from Atlanta, and basically a 1.2 1.23 click-through rate, which I was waiting to hear back the specific number from Pandora, but we had used them for another client before, and I want to say it's less than 1% is their average, but don't quote me on that because I'm waiting to hear back from them if that's changed in the last 6 months or not. So if it's what I recall, you are performing above average. 1% doesn't sound that great, but for the amount of people seeing your ads to have that response has been very strong. Just wanted to note on Facebook, we've been trying really hard to make your Facebook post intriguing, interesting things that people want to click on and share. Additionally, we've been putting a lot more of your budget into the Facebook post the last month, continuing that through the spring and summer months. You will see that your fan base as of March 5th was 9,088 people, and as of April 7th, so virtually a month, we got that up to 12,150 people. So you can see that promoting that page and putting some marketing dollars is a large percentage increase for you. And then lastly, I just had your budget for the year in case anybody asked, and I wouldn't remember the numbers off the top of my head. So I also wanted to take a moment to introduce to you Rob Ricotta. Rob started with our team last fall. He is experienced in the industry as well as doing vocal work and acting work and whatnot. Rob has been working a lot on your TDA projects along with Dawn, who's also in our group. But Dawn, who's been working with you throughout the year, she has decided to go part-time, and I wanted a full-time representative on your account. So just at least your opportunity to meet Rob, that transition is going to take place over the next few months. So if we start working on your marketing for 2015 and 16, Rob will end up being the 24th person. So a little face with the name before you start seeing him on TV. Does anybody have any questions or concerns?
Great job. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you all. And truly, just think about some of those hard-hitting topics on the front end. Yeah. And then as far as any feedback that you've had so that we can get some training together or not, whatever you decide, we're happy to do.
We have you may have already had it in there, a total of people who are filling out the contract form. I mean,
Don't have that in there. I'll work with it. Did anybody recall the healthcare head with that day? Have you received that?
I couldn't.
The contact form?
Part of it goes, I think it's copied to myself and you. It used to be Jessica. I think it's you now, if I'm not mistaken.
I will tell you, most of the things that I see come through the site are
Spam. Yeah.
I know you website has good.
Let me tell you about this opportunity.
Yeah.
what kind of filter is it?
I believe our filter will be much greater if we use that VBIS service.
Yeah, gotcha. No, that makes sense.
And yeah, we will discuss that too when we go with the new budget about maybe making changes that you suggested.
Yeah. So just so you're aware, it is to the Franklin Chamber right now, and we will steer clear of any specific business unless it's literally event or
Moving on to the Taste of Scotland 2014 funding report. Who do we have? Doug,
Here,
would you like to go ahead and speak?
what do you want? Right here?
Right there, Scott. Are you comfortable right there? Okay. Okay.
We'd like to thank the TDA for your support in the past and appreciate it, of course, in the future. I'm very happy to tell you that last year's Taste of Scotland was a success. We're learning every year. This is our third year in handling it. And we think we're getting a little better and a little smarter every year. We learn by our mistakes. I am happy to say that this last year we were able to have some money left over. Not really left over, but we can take advantage of it now, and most of that money is going to advertising. Before, we've had to wait until monies came in to take advantage of the good buys and sales that we can get in different magazines. Celtic International, which is one of the leading Celtic magazines, has contacted us, and we will be taking out a half-page ad in the Celtic International. We are getting recognized now all over the United States. I have had calls from Nova Scotia, California, Texas, Mississippi, Florida, and Alabama. These are all Celtic and Scottish entertainers and bands that wanted to be considered in playing for us. So we are getting a lot of recognition, which took us a while to get that back up. We feel that this year we're going to put another good festival together. We're going to try a couple of new things again, and so far they've all worked. Our big attendance last year, we estimated somewhere in the vicinity of 3,000 people came in for the festival. Could have been a little more than that, but the streets were full. Most of the merchants that I talked to all had good days and record sales in some places. We're very happy. We have a committee together, and remember now, this is all done by volunteers. Some of them, when we took it over 2 years ago, none of them have ever done anything like this before. So again, like I stated, it is a learning experience for them. We hope that we will put on a better show than last year. All of our vendors from last year have signed up to come back. Last year we had 32 vendors. This year we're shooting for 50. And I'm getting emails almost every day now from potential vendors, craft vendors. Now we are being more picky than we have in the past, because you know the first 2 years we had to take anybody we could. Now we're getting picky, and they said that most of the craft vendors are going to be Scottish, Celtic craft vendors. When I went to Grandfather Mountain Games this last year, I did a lot of recruiting. We're going to have 8 brand new clans that have never been here before that have agreed to come over this year. That's what I have a lot of craft vendors that we talked to while we were over there, and they're going to be here. One of the biggies is going to be a company that makes bagpipes. They will be here with the bagpipes. They're going to demonstrate bagpipes. And we'll even give little flute lessons, because they have a single flute, that they can show. So we think we're going to really put a good thing on the streets. We're still going to keep our food vendors down. We're not going to load the streets with food vendors. That way all the food vendors will make money. We are adding, it's called the House of Douglas Bakery. They're from Tennessee, and they make good Scottish breads and pastries and this sort of thing, and they will be there this year. We're going to have our Cherokee brothers involved again this year. I will be meeting with them probably this week or next week to see how extensive it is going to be, what our plans are. I'm working with the Cherokee Heritage Group. What the plans are on both sides are that the Cherokee will be involved in our festivals, and we in turn will go over and be a part of their festival, because the heritage between the Scots and the Cherokees go back a long way. We are planning to put together a little program that will show people when they come to the festival about the heritage between the Scots and the Cherokees. So we're working on that right now. They're very agreeable to do whatever it takes. Bo Taylor, who's the curator of the Cherokee Museum, we're working on bringing over the Cherokee dancers that will be putting on some forms for us. Eddie Swimmer, who came over the last 2 years, will be back doing his talk about the heritage between the two people. And he'll do his hoop dance again, which is a big hit. I don't know whether any of you got to see it, but last year he had 37 hoops on his body. He's dancing and making images at the same time. Eagle, a turtle, Mickey Mouse, all kinds of different things. So we think we have a good program put together. We appreciate anything you can do to help us, because everything comes down to how many people we can reach. And with the extra monies that we had this year to do it early, we're going out big time and advertising in places we haven't advertised before.
Where are you looking at advertising?
We're going to Atlanta. We're going down into a little town in Leesburg, Florida. There are a lot of Scottish people down there. We've done some research, and we got sent out some questionnaires, and we got these answers back from different places like that would be interested in coming up to our little town and perhaps being a part of it. So we're going to really go out after in many different areas as we can. Last year, Asheville was at the same time as we were. Didn't really hurt us that bad. We had people coming over from Blair. Same thing that they got over there, but they had to pay for it. Our Highland people, Highland Games people, will be back again this year. We are working with Scott Medlin, who does the Highland Games demonstrations, down the road of making that a competitive game right here in Franklin. If we do that, this town, you won't be able to hold it. There'll be thousands of people that come in for the Highland Games competition. So a lot of things that we're working on for now, and some things that we're working on, for the future itself. We think we're getting better every year because we're learning from our mistakes from the last 2 years, and we made a lot of them. But we're also improving as we go along.
Have you started advertising?
Yes, Tony Angel is my advertising media, and we sat down the other day and we've already got out the advertising plan. We're already taking out ads. The one with the Celtic International will be going out this week, so we can be in their May and June issue. I've had 2 different magazines call me. One today that will be asking about the festival when they're doing an article on us. So we think we've turned the corner as far as people recognizing who we are and what we're trying to do here. It's very important that we keep the Taste of Scotland alive. This will be the 18th year. Should have been the 19th, but didn't have it in 2012. And that's one of the longest running Scottish festivals in the United States. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Okay, moving on to Martin Starnes' audit contract.
Yes, as the board is aware, the current fiscal year we're in, we paid the $3,000 to comply with the state guidelines for our annual audit, and we went ahead and did that through the town of Franklin. They have approached us for the upcoming fiscal year, and the cost for that would be the same as we paid last year for $3,000 through Martin Starnes, and of course we did get a clean audit. So I just wanted to bring that before the board and see if you guys are okay with just preparing for next year, setting aside the $3,000 to do the audit like we did this year. I don't really know if we have a choice, but I just wanted to bring that before you guys, and if you're okay with that, I'll move forward on our end.
Do we need to take a vote?
The finance officer and I discussed this. It would be safer if you guys did just give your approval. It's not necessarily that you have to, but that way everything's on the up.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, amendment to the bylaws.
Okay. Me one more time for now. In your packet, we talked about this a little bit last month, and you had your 30 days to review it. If you'll notice, it's just a clarification on the town manager's appointment on page, it's not marked, it'd actually be the second page. If we could get a vote just to accept the amendment as provided, it's just basically giving more detail of what the roles are.
I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Moving on to the minutes from our March meeting.
Okay.
If we can have a motion to approve them.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to the financial report.
Okay. Sorry, did you have a question? Oh, okay, financial report. Good news, if you'll look for February, we ended up taking in $4,919.27. That leaves us with a net collection thus far from July until February of $68,701.41 out of our total budgeted expenses of $118,400. And if you'll notice, the less disbursements and the remaining balance, and then our commitments. So the remaining balance with the commitments is $82,381.41. And if you'll just keep in mind that some of that, where it says final payment, Smoky Mountain Center, that is a lag from the previous fiscal year. So that's why your numbers will vary on this sheet versus the next, because the next sheet is strictly looking at the finances for this year. The good news, if you'll look at your comparison chart, this is the best February we had since 2009, 2010. That's impressive. That's good news. Your next sheet is just broken it down a little bit further of our budget expenditures to date. And you can tell what we have left as festivals and events. You've got a remaining balance of $10,144.60. Your Atlanta billboards, that'll change next month because they have started those ads, so you'll see some of that money start to come out. Pandora, you'll see some of that come out next month as well. A little bit come out of Facebook and Google AdWords. I've got some more invoices for Candy to sign. Allison Outdoor electronic billboard, that's been started as well. And then the Martin Starnes audit from this current fiscal year, and then your Charlotte Chamber. So any questions? I hope that kind of helps to show from the budgeted line items what you have spent so far. And that's all I had. If there's any questions.
Before next month, can you tell me how much we gave them last year?
Taste of Scotland. I'd be fine to.
Because I'm looking just current, just before we vote on next month.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Oh, I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second to accept the financial report?
Happy to make that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to finance and budget. Do you have anything? No policy and procedures besides the amendment that we just did. And do we have any applications to review?
No.
Okay. Okay. Is there any items from the board? Sorry.
From the board, something from the hand.
But one thing, sorry, we still have the old business, sorry, our decision on the Brave Park 5K break, 2015. And did you want us to give clarification? Okay.
We changed the budget on that, if y'all look at the, I don't know if everybody's got the new one. We were doing adjustment.
It's in the packet. I think it's towards the back.
We think the new budget should be able to fit in and help those out anyway.
Okay, I have a question. The front page of your request says $3,000, and then that was the original.
That was the original one. That was-
Okay.
The original.
All right, so now it's $1,050 that you're requesting.
Yes.
And was that 1,050, was that for advertisement?
Yes. We also have, we've picked up a lot of sponsors too recently too. Recently we did a lot of campaign sponsorship ads, and it's helped out a lot too, so that's why our request went down. So this is our 5th year. So this is like the only benefit for the Scottish Art Museum. We are not associated with the Taste of Scotland. We're totally separate. The funds that come from the rates go towards the present project. If y'all go across the street and check it out,
you see the new projects and everything, so we're doing a lot of new things.
So where exactly you'll spend the $1,050?
Well, right now, it's like I said, Blue Ridge Outdoor Magazine, the Blue Ridge, Blue Ridge, I don't know, but actually the Blue Ridge Outdoor Magazine, as a lot of y'all know, it's everywhere. I mean, Outdoor 76 carries it. I think you carry the fitness center too. I mean, it's a main marketing one. That's a little expensive, but that's going to be our main one too. And also through different medias too. I'm trying my best to market as much as I can for this event because it's dear to my heart. So, and it's our 5th year, and we're getting bigger.
How much?
So the net cash flow, if Dave's projections are correct in terms of sponsorships and entry fees, then total cash will be $4,050, and the net cash flow will be $3,000. So that $3,000 would go to the museum.
Oh, okay. All of it.
That's good.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. We hope you all sponsor.
And I forgot to say one important thing while I was talking to you. We've received notice today that our 501(c) has been approved by the IRS, so we are now a full 501(c) organization.
C3.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you, Dave, for coming. Thank you. Okay, so we
I'll make a motion to approve the $1,050.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Dave, sorry to interrupt. Can you come to the office tomorrow and we'll fill out a contract? Okay.
I'll get Jim to do it, actually.
All right, perfect.
Since the museum's beneficial.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you for coming.
You stop by and see someone.
Okay. Any items from the boards?
Yes. Miss Suzanne has an item. I know it's not from the board, but I told her
Well, and one of the things I want to say I'm sorry for, I thought I had already gotten that part taken care of.
that's my fault.
Well, regardless, but I thought I had, and so I apologize for that. I also apologize I only have 7 of these instead of 8 of the requests. And you guys can hide them. And also, I did not have confirmation on this event 2 months ahead of time. So that was another item. I've never done this before, so I'm going to stand by where Douglas said. And what I have confirmed, I don't have time to confirm it yet, but I have a New York Times best-selling author. She spent over 2 years on the New York Times best-selling list. I'm Suzanne from Books Unlimited. Sorry, everybody. I said I've never done that. She spent over 2 years on the New York Times bestseller list in both hardcover and paperback for the book Water for Elephants. If you're not familiar with either the book or the movie, gentlemen, if you check with your wives, I'm sure they will be. Her new book is called At the Water's Edge. It takes place during World War II, and it involves 3 30-something or 20-somethings who go to Scotland to look for the Loch Ness Monster. And she has agreed to be here to autograph books during the Taste of Scotland.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, if I pull this one off. But I do have confirmation on the date. We're still working on times. Dave would like her to kick off the Braveheart, and Doug would like her to speak at the opening ceremonies, and then have her autograph during the day. I'm hoping to have her all day. Right now she's on tour. The book just came out less than 2 weeks ago. So she's all over the U.S. right now. And I told somebody not to talk to her about coming here until she gets home, slept in her own bed for a couple days, had a chance. So I will have that information. I am asking the board for $2,180. So far, I've got $978 into the merchandise. I will probably have more than that. I'm taking reservation copies for the book, and I'm sure that I will have at least, there's 12 books to a case. I'll probably have at least 5 more cases on order that will be my expense.
Will she end up having to spend the night here in town?
She's from Nashville. So I'm not, yeah, that's the only reason I went into trying to get her. She is from Nashville, so I don't foresee any overnight expenses, anything like that. I'll probably buy her lunch, something. But I did include an attachment on the back of where the money is going to go. I have utilized as much free advertising as possible, and on your copies, I forgot to mention that Dave is going to put everything that has Braveheart on it will also have this author on it. Everything Taste of Scotland will have this author on it. Everything that I've put out in any of the magazines will have the Franklin logo, the Taste of Scotland, Braveheart. I mean, we're all working together to promote this whole thing together. So, and I wanted to point out that the Smoky Mountain Living magazine, which is kind of tied in with Smoky Mountain News, and I found out about, is very, very nice, and it is distributed all over the U.S. It's not just local. So, that was what I was wanting to say. Can I answer any questions? Or
Where's the actual signing going to take place?
in the bookstore.
This is really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
Will you put me down for one of the books?
I'll be happy. And the book is very good. I've read it. I'll be honest with you. Water for Elephants was great. I loved it. Her second book, Eighth House, not so much. This one is very good. Everyone who has read it has really, really enjoyed it. Surprise ending. So.
Like surprise ending.
Yes. Yes. I was going, oh, did you get it? So, yeah.
It's great that you could.
Gotta applaud you for putting it together.
Yeah,
Thank you.
For
Thank
working
you
with
so
the
much. I'm
existing
excited.
festivals.
Well,
It's energy.
I don't know if I should tell you guys this or not, but I got an email that said that she had accepted, and I'm running through the house screaming, I did it. Fist pumping. I grabbed Larry by the shoulders and I went, oh no. And he went, what? I said, we've got to clean. Here. And that's a true story.
Thank you for coming too.
Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
You put it on the email. Is that okay?
Yes, that'll be fine. That's what I was expecting anyway. I am going to go ahead though, because some of these ads have deadlines for the magazines, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. So, just to let you know, I think it's important enough, and I think that she is a well-known enough author that even if you don't help or just help a little bit or whatever, I think it's going to be worth the time and money to do the advertising. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, I was just thinking through. Any items from the board?
Can I ask the board a question? Do we, no, just kidding, it's not bad. I won't take 2 minutes. Just, do we want to talk about what Premier had recommended about hosting with DNET? What are y'all's thoughts?
I think it'd be a good
Okay,
idea.
Yeah, I
I'll
wanna
make
go
a
ahead.
motion, pump it up to the
Okay.
$20 a month now.
I agree,
I'll
especially if
second
we're
that.
going
Okay.
back 3 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye. Yeah.
that was one I just wanted to get.
Yeah.
So we can get the $20. And we should go ahead and start setting up a date too to go over the budget and do that.
Do we have a
other-
retreat?
We do. We have like a meeting. Yeah, sitting here.
Sitting here?
Go girl party.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting here? For how long? Half a day? All day?
No, I think we only
Just
did a couple
a meeting,
hours.
yeah, just like a meeting.
Actually, it's better than the meeting. The meeting's only been going for 30 minutes, but it may be like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. You want to have it out at Oakville Country Inn?
I get the hammock.
Oh, no. After the meeting. The hammock's not up yet.
I'd like to request if we're going to do a couple hours, we start earlier than 5:30.
That's fine. And start thinking about it, and I'll have some dates on your
Okay. So before our next meeting, if y'all have
suggestions or times you can't do.
recommend so that we can make it to where everybody can be there.
Yeah.
And start thinking about the things that she went over too, so we can.
Can we get an email shot to us about, just as a reminder, to respond with,
Yeah.
dates or times or whatever?
And I am more than willing, everybody. I think my place is a tad bit more comfortable, sorry.
But is it open?
Yes.
What?
The
Oh.
retreat. is
Oh,
open
the
to the
retreat
public.
is open to the public?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're gonna have another 50 or 100 people come.
You might. You never know. As soon as you say that, you're gonna get.
I mean, there were
50
people
others.
here last time. I was
Oh, yeah? That's fine.
I mean, we can go to different places.
I'll send an email out and get some dates from you guys and we'll go from there.
And if you have an opening,
Yeah.
what we need to do with
We
these
we usually
things,
do it
so-
on our normal, on a Monday night.
Well, the fiscal year
Anything?
starts what, July?
July 1. We'll need
So we
something.
need to do it before then.
Yeah.
Just know that. I was just thinking April's already halfway over, so. So it would have to be.
Fine.
No, I'm just, sorry, you're sitting down there all by yourself, so I'm just looking at you, sorry. Okay, next regular scheduled meeting would be May 11th at 5:30. And if we have any.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, guys. Thanks,
You
guys.
love these short.
I had to say that because I was thinking when you were saying budget, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's great.
Sorry.